A gleaming luxury car dealership in downtown, where polished vehicles catch the sunlight through floor-to-ceiling windows. Among them stands a midnight blue sports car, its sleek lines drawing the eye of every passerby. This is where our story begins on what seemed like an ordinary Tuesday morning. A successful tech entrepreneur walks in, dressed in a casual yet refined manner, designer sneakers, tailored jeans, and a simple black sweater. His watch alone could buy a decent used car. He's here to purchase his dream vehicle, having recently closed a major deal that put his startup on the map. After 15 years of building his company from scratch, he's finally ready to reward himself. The showroom buzzes with activity as sales representatives float between customers. Yet somehow, none seem to notice him. He walks around, examining price tags, specifications, running his fingers along the pristine paintwork. 10 minutes pass, then 20. A sales representative brushes past him to greet a couple who just walked in, offering them coffee and a tour of the latest models. Our entrepreneur raises his hand, trying to catch someone's attention. When he finally manages to flag down an employee, the response is tepid at best. "Oh, you're interested in this model." The tone carries an unmistakable hint of doubt. "These start at $150,000. Perhaps I could show you something more suitable." The assumption stings, but he's faced similar situations before. Rather than react with anger, he maintains his composure and simply asks to speak with the sales manager. The employee hesitates, then reluctantly disappears into a back office. Moments later, the manager emerges, wearing the same dismissive expression. What follows is a masterclass in dignity and grace under pressure. Our entrepreneur reaches for his phone, but not to post an angry review or call out the dealership on social media. No, he has something far more impactful in mind. His fingers move swiftly across the screen as the sales manager watches, still wearing that condescending smile. The next few minutes would completely transform the atmosphere in that showroom. The manager's expression shifts from dismissive to shocked, then to something approaching panic. The other customers have stopped browsing, drawn to the unfolding scene. Even the previously inattentive sales staff have gathered, watching with growing unease. What did this entrepreneur do? How did he turn the tables on those who judged him solely by his appearance? The answer reveals not just a powerful lesson about prejudice and presumption, but also demonstrates how success can be the sweetest form of response to discrimination. Hold on to your seats, because this story isn't just about buying a luxury car. It's about challenging assumptions, maintaining dignity in the face of disrespect, and showing that true class has nothing to do with the clothes you wear or the color of your skin. And what happens next? Well, that's where things get really interesting. Our entrepreneur slowly turns his phone screen toward the sales manager, revealing the homepage of his highly successful tech company. There he stands, featured prominently as the founder and CEO of a firm that has revolutionized cloud computing security. The company's latest valuation, $500 million. The same company whose software this very dealership uses to protect their customer data. The manager's face drains of color as recognition dawns. Not only is this man capable of purchasing any car in the showroom, but he's also responsible for the technology that keeps their business secure. The whispers among the staff grow louder as they realize their catastrophic mistake. A few of them had even attended a recent cybersecurity conference, where this very entrepreneur was a keynote speaker. But our protagonist isn't done yet. With calm precision, he pulls up another screen, an email thread from just last week. It's a correspondence with the dealership's corporate headquarters about a potential fleet deal for company vehicles. Yes, he had been considering purchasing multiple luxury cars for his executive team. The total order would have been worth millions. The atmosphere in the showroom grows heavier with each passing second. Other customers have stopped pretending not to watch. Their own shopping experience is forgotten as they witness this turning point. Some are recording discreetly on their phones, sensing they're watching something significant unfold. The sales manager starts to stammer out an apology, but our entrepreneur raises his hand gently, stopping him mid-sentence. He's not interested in apologies, not yet. Instead, he asks a simple question that echoes through the showroom. How many other potential customers have you judged this way? It's a question that hangs in the air, heavy with implications. The other customers shift uncomfortably, perhaps reflecting on their own experiences or biases. The sales staff look at their shoes, unable to meet anyone's gaze. This moment has transformed from a simple car purchase into something far more profound. Our entrepreneur reaches into his pocket and pulls out a business card, sleek, minimalist, featuring only his name and title. He places it carefully on the hood of the midnight blue sports car he'd been admiring earlier, the same car that, moments ago, the staff assumed he couldn't afford. But what he does next isn't about revenge or public shaming. It's about something much more powerful, something that would not only change this dealership forever, but ripple through the entire luxury car industry. His response to this situation would soon become a case study in leadership, dignity, and the power of transforming negative experiences into positive change. The question is, what exactly did he do with this moment? How did he turn this display of prejudice into an opportunity for growth? Well, that's where our story takes its most unexpected turn. Our entrepreneur takes a deliberate breath, his years of business experience evident in his composed demeanor. He pulls out his laptop, opens it on the hood of the luxury car, and begins a live stream to his company's 2 million social media followers. But instead of exposing the dealership's discriminatory behavior, he does something unexpected. He starts teaching a masterclass in professional development. Today, we're going to talk about unconscious bias in customer service. He begins, his voice calm and measured. The dealership staff freeze, expecting public humiliation. Instead, they witness him transform their showroom into an impromptu training center. He shares stories from his journey, from being turned away from his first business loan to building a tech empire from scratch. The sales manager, still visibly uncomfortable, watches as more customers gather around. Some recognize the entrepreneur from business magazines and tech conferences. The live stream viewer count skyrockets as people tune in to watch this unconventional response to discrimination unfold in real time. Then comes the moment that catches everyone off guard. He opens his banking app and begins processing a transfer, not for one luxury car, but for 10. The sales staff's jaws drop as they realize what's happening. But there's a condition attached to this massive purchase, one that would challenge the entire dealership to its core. The entrepreneur closes his laptop and faces the now silent showroom. His next words would set in motion a chain of events that would not only transform this dealership, but spark a nationwide conversation about customer service and racial bias in luxury retail. The tension in the room reaches its peak as he prepares to reveal his unprecedented proposition. Every person who works here, he announces, his voice carrying across the showroom, will be assigned one of these vehicles for a month. The sales staff exchange confused glances. This isn't a typical response to discrimination. It's something entirely different. He explains that each employee will get to experience what it feels like to drive a luxury car, to understand the product they're selling, and most importantly, to know how it feels when people make assumptions about whether they belong behind the wheel. But then comes the real twist. He reveals that his tech company has developed an AI-powered customer service training program, one that's already being used by Fortune 500 companies. The dealership will be the first in the automotive industry to implement it. The program uses virtual reality simulations to help staff experience customer interactions from different perspectives, challenging their unconscious biases in a safe, educational environment. The corporate headquarters representative, who had been quietly watching via video call on someone's phone, suddenly speaks up. They're not just interested in implementing this program at this location. They want to roll it out across their entire network of dealerships nationwide. What started as a humiliating experience for one man is transforming into a revolutionary change in luxury car sales training. But just as the atmosphere begins to shift from tension to possibility, an unexpected figure walks through the door, the dealership owner himself, having rushed over after hearing about the situation. His presence adds another layer of complexity to an already intense situation. He's known in the industry for his old-school approach and resistance to change. The owner looks around his showroom, now filled with customers recording on their phones, a live stream reaching hundreds of thousands of viewers, and his staff standing in stunned silence. His next decision could either embrace this moment of transformation or create an even bigger controversy. Our entrepreneur turns to face the owner, the keys to 10 luxury cars in one hand and a contract for the training program in the other. The live stream count continues to climb as viewers hold their breath, waiting to see how this confrontation will unfold. The next few moments would determine whether this story becomes a cautionary tale of discrimination or a blueprint for institutional change. Social media is already exploding with reactions to the live stream. Major news networks are picking up the story. But what happens next will shock everyone, even those who think they've figured out where this story is heading. Because sometimes, the most powerful changes come from the most unexpected places. The dealership owner steps forward, but instead of resistance, he reveals something unexpected. He was once in a similar situation himself, 30 years ago when he was just starting his career. His voice carries the weight of personal experience as he describes being judged and dismissed while trying to buy his first luxury car. It was that experience that drove him to eventually own his own dealership. In a moment that stuns everyone watching, the owner turns to our entrepreneur and suggests expanding the proposal. Not only will they implement the training program, but he wants to partner with the tech company to develop specialized software for tracking and improving customer service metrics across the luxury car industry. He sees this as an opportunity to address a systemic issue that he's witnessed throughout his career. The entrepreneur's expression shifts from surprise to understanding. Together, they sign not just a deal for 10 cars, but a multi-million-dollar partnership agreement that would revolutionize how luxury car dealerships approach customer service. The live stream viewers witness the birth of an industry-changing collaboration. But the real twist comes when the entrepreneur reveals his final move. The 10 luxury cars won't just be used for staff training. They'll be part of a new initiative. Each vehicle will be loaned out to promising young entrepreneurs from underserved communities who need reliable transportation for business meetings and client presentations. The dealership will become a hub for a mentorship program, helping the next generation of business leaders break through barriers. The sales staff who initially dismissed him are now assigned as primary contacts for these young entrepreneurs, completing the circle of learning and growth. The manager who doubted him is appointed to lead the mentorship program, turning his mistake into an opportunity for redemption and positive change. As the live stream concludes, the viewer count hits 1 million. The story has gone viral, but not as an expose of discrimination. Instead, it's being shared as an example of how to transform prejudice into progress. Major business publications are already reaching out for interviews, not about the incident, but about the innovative partnership that emerged from it. The entrepreneur takes the keys to his new car, but he's gained something far more valuable: the power to create lasting change. As he drives off in his midnight blue sports car, the dealership behind him isn't just a place that sold him a vehicle. It's become ground zero for a movement that would soon spread across the country, proving that sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about getting better. And as for that car he bought, well, that's another story altogether. 6 months after that fateful day at the dealership, the story has evolved far beyond a viral moment. The mentorship program has already helped 50 young entrepreneurs secure crucial business deals, with the luxury car loans giving them the confidence and credibility they needed in high-stakes meetings. 3 of them have even gone on to purchase their own vehicles from the same dealership. The I-Powered training program has been implemented across 300 luxury car dealerships nationwide. Sales staff who once relied on appearances to gauge customers now focus on understanding their stories, dreams, and aspirations. Customer satisfaction scores have skyrocketed, and more importantly, the demographics of luxury car buyers have become noticeably more diverse. Our entrepreneur's tech company has created a dedicated division for retail equality initiatives, with the car dealership owner serving as a senior advisor. Together, they've developed programs that are being adopted by high-end retailers across various industries, from real estate to fashion. The midnight blue sports car that started it all. It's now displayed prominently in the dealership's showroom, serving as a reminder of how one moment of prejudice transformed into a movement for change. The sales manager who initially dismissed our entrepreneur has become one of the program's most passionate advocates, sharing his personal journey of transformation at industry conferences. His story resonates because it's not about shame or punishment, but about growth and redemption. As for our entrepreneur, he still drives by the dealership occasionally, not just to check on the mentorship program, but to remind himself that success isn't just about proving people wrong. It's about helping others prove themselves right. His response to discrimination didn't just change one dealership. It created a ripple effect that continues to transform lives. The story ends where it began, in that gleaming showroom with its floor-to-ceiling windows. But now, when you walk in, you'll see a diverse group of sales staff eagerly greeting every customer. You'll notice young entrepreneurs being mentored by experienced professionals. And if you look closely, you'll see that midnight blue sports car bearing a small plaque that reads, "Sometimes the road to change begins with a single turn of the key." In the end, this wasn't just a story about buying a luxury car. It was about turning mirrors into windows, allowing people to see beyond their reflections and into new possibilities. And that's worth more than any vehicle money can buy.